There's no denying that Pokemon TCG Pocket is a huge success. Just a couple of weeks after its global launch, it has already attracted millions of players worldwide and raked in more money than I can count on my fingers. And yet, there's a critical issue in the game that's been affecting me, and I'll bet it's been affecting you as well. I'm not talking about the game's collecting aspect. For what it's worth, I think both the regular pack openings and wonder picking are completely fine. No, I'm talking about the battle experience. More specifically, I'm referring to the turn order. In TCG Pocket, the first player to go in a battle is determined randomly, without either player being able to choose whether they want to go first or second. It's quite similar to other CCGs like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering Arena in that regard, and that's not a problem in itself. The issue lies more with how unbalanced going second is compared to going first. See, in Hearthstone for instance, the player going second gets an additional non-collectible card called the Coin to get a temporary mana advantage to make up for the fact that they could not go first. In Duel Links and Magic the Gathering Arena, the player going first has one less card in hand than the player going second. Even in games that let you pick whether you want to go first or second like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel or Pokemon TCG, going first is usually better, so there's enough of a penalty for it, or the player going second has an advantage. In the Pokemon TCG for instance, the player going first cannot activate trainer cards on their first turn, and they're not able to attack as well, which is the complete opposite of Pokemon Pocket, where you can use trainer cards and attack on your first turn, but you can't attach any energy cards. Because of this last bit, going first is insanely disadvantageous in Pocket. Being one energy behind your opponent means you're basically going second, which, unless you're playing a fast deck or can use Misty or Brock going first, means you're more likely to lose. Yeah, the Misty combo is worth mentioning, but it's hardly the most consistent option in the game considering how much randomness is involved, and don't even get me started on Brock. So, how do we fix that? There's basically two ways to go about it. The first would be to nerf going second, and I'm not too fond of this idea. After all, the only reason going second is better is because going first is so bad, not because going second is inherently flawed. The second option would be to buff going first. An easy idea would be to allow you to attach an energy on your first turn, but that's such a huge change that it would completely flip the problem backwards and require some other changes to going first to avoid it becoming too good. I personally don't think this change would improve the game's balance unless you also made it so going first had some very huge penalties like being unable to use trainer cards, such as is the case in the actual Pokemon TCG. And even then, it would mean that you'd be able to dish some serious damage on turn 3 with cards like Starmie, Pikachu, etc. that only need 2 energies. Another idea would be to allow to attach one energy, but only to a benched Pokemon and not your active one. I think it's an elegant solution that adds an additional layer of strategy to the game, as it makes you more likely to send a defensive Pokemon to the active spot, so you can better prepare for your benched ones. I'm more fond of this solution, but let me know what you think about it. And last but not least, another way to buff going first would simply to release better going first Pokemon. Some Pokemon already have a stage 1 evolution that only require 1 energy like Rapidash or Exeggutor, and more similarly designed Pokemon with actually good stats and attack could make it so there's a good enough variety of decks that want to go first that it would single-handedly fix the issue. I'm also thinking of basic Pokemon with abilities, which we currently do not have, but could be game-changing on their own, considering abilities can be activated on your first turn. Unfortunately, this would inevitably lead to power creep and might even require some additional changes to the turn order rules to balance out. I personally think, for instance, that you should not be able to attack first at all to begin with, but seeing how this is the one thing one deck can sometimes do going first, it would feel petty to take this away from them at the moment. But what do you think? Do you agree that going first feels really bad at the moment? How would you personally fix it? Let me know in the comments of this video, and if you've liked it, make sure to leave a like as well. Thank you all for watching, and thank you in particular to Dingust, OutdishBoy0, Zinnia, Jimmy and Yannick for their donations on Ko-fi. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, let me know in the comments so that I will know to make other Pokemon TCG Pocket videos. It's been a really fun game for me to play, definitely more so than Duel Links at the moment. Thank you once again for watching, take care everyone, and I will see you all next time.